So Annie, tell us who you are and a bit about your sporting and academic background.
All right, so I'm Annie O'Shea. I'm from New York. I have been a bobsled and skeleton athlete, focused only on skeleton for the past 14 years. Before that, I was a track and field athlete, which is how I got into the sliding sport community. I went from summer to winter, freezing cold. Through my 14 years, I've been able to get every degree I've wanted. I got my bachelor's degree, sports management and wellness and fitness, and then I got my MBA with a focus in international business, where I spent a lot of time working on HR classes and things like that. So I've been really lucky to be able to go to school. I know not everyone gets to, and I've had some really great jobs in the middle of that. I've kind of done nothing all at the same time, did some waiting tables, bartending, a little bit of everything. And 14 years later, here I am.
So in the lead up to the Olympics, I mean, you worked really hard for that. That was a bit of a disappointment for you. How did you deal with that period in your life? And then, we got in touch, and how was that? What were your sort of emotions? And how have they changed over the last couple of months?
So that was actually the end of January, beginning of February, right when we named our team. That was the third Olympic team that I didn't make. And this was the one team that I swore I was going to make. I dropped everything that I was doing. I only trained, and that's who I was. It's all I wanted. And the moment that I knew I wasn't going to make it, I pretty much thought my life fell apart, as devastating as that may sound. It was just one of those things, I put in 14 years, how did I not get there? I just don't understand. And I was really disappointed, and I didn't want to tell anyone, I didn't make it, and I didn't want to accept it at the same time, because as much as it's my fault, I wanted to blame someone else. So I wasn't really in the best place in January. And I remember our phone call. My sister actually had to tell me that, Annie, you have a message on your athlete page on Facebook. You really need to respond. It's about a job. And I was like, okay, can you just read it to me? I had the worst internet and cell service in the middle of Germany. We were in basically on the border of the Czech Republic, and I was trying to read it, and then I responded, and then you emailed it to me so I could see it better. And I remember we set up a phone call, and I was like, I might not be able to hear you because the service is so bad. And at that moment, I remember getting off the phone with you, and I just kind of laid down on the floor, and I was like, I think someone believes in me, and I don't even know who he is personally. And I felt like everything kind of changed. The moment that we spoke, I realized that, wow, I've accomplished a lot, but I've never given myself the credit. Even winning races, it's always been, well, you should win the next one. Not good job, you won a race. And at that moment, I was obviously still upset about the Olympics and not making it, but realizing that if I chose to walk away, it would be my choice. I've done a lot, and I'm good at everything that I've done. So, I'm not getting kicked out. I'm just choosing to leave.
And you're here because of a culmination of years of hard work that you've put in your academics and in your sport. I know you can't see right ahead now, but how are you feeling about that history that you've got with sport and academics, and what are you hoping for to use it for in this new EY environment?
Well, it is academics I swear it's not something I ever thought I would use. I obviously got my degrees because it's what you're supposed to do. It was always how I thought. And then when I started my MBA program, I realized that I did enjoy it, but I still didn't know what I was going to do, and sports was all I knew. So I kind of thought that was the only thing that I was good at. And then once I started the interviews for EY, I realized that so many of my sporting skills or my everyday occurrences with teammates or coaches and how we've talked about it, how they apply to the business world. And at that moment, I said, okay, I can crush these interviews. I can do this, and if they like me, it'll work out. And so now, just with this, I don't have any specific direction. I'm excited to learn everything and take in everything that UI has to offer, because I am new to this world. But I'm so excited for it. So I just can't wait to see like what I learn and where I can go with it. And I don't know. I'll kind of go in any direction that I think it takes me. I'm happy about it.
So you understand it's a transition now, and how important do you think that the work that you're going to do with me and with Ben and the team to help you along that sort of process? How important do you think it's going to be?
Oh, I think that you guys are probably my biggest and best tool that I could possibly have. I mean, if even to go back to when we first spoke, without you talking and just encouraging me, even every time we speak, that you, Steve, and Ben are so encouraging that I believe in myself more than I do when I'm alone or when I'm just sitting there thinking like, oh, I failed. Well, I didn't fail. Like, you guys are really great at reminding me like, you didn't fail, you've done this, and now you can take those tools and do something else with them. And I think that every person needs that, and it's because it's scary. Every now and then I feel like I'm still having a couple of like freak out moments, but they're becoming less and less, and I feel more prepared every time that we talk, and Ben encourages me to say everything that I have to and just ask more questions, so it's been awesome.
Great. Okay.